saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, you clicked. Now you're looking at me. Okay, so this video is about Steve Rogers, and it's about about theories, okay? Because I'm kind of starting to just get sick of theorists sometimes. Then again, I am a theorist myself. I have a lot of theories for Doomsday. But there are always these stupid theories that I never like. Like the one I want to talk about today in this video. Also, hi people who've always watched my YouTube channel. You might be wondering, Jasper, you said your tripod was broke. How are you filming this? I built a Lego phone mount. I'm not going to show you. I'll probably show you in a short. So, yeah. But, ever since the official Doomsday trailer came out, people have been saying that the Steve Rogers in the trailer isn't the Steve Rogers we've known since 2011 when Captain America: The First Avenger came out. No, when that movie came out, I was 1 year old. I was born in 2010. I was only a year old, so like, yeah. But instead of thinking that is the normal Steve Rogers we've known since 2011, people think that is Captain Hydra. And they can't even give really good evidence as to why they think it's Captain Hydra. The only good piece of evidence is that Dr. Doom is using the face of Tony Stark to trick the heroes, so why can't Captain Hydra do the same? Well, probably because Captain Hydra wouldn't have to steal the face of Steve Rogers. He is Steve Rogers. He wouldn't have to steal his own face. Like, if you are a theorist who thinks that the Steve Rogers in the Doomsday trailer is Captain Hydra, I want you to tell me why. I want you to give me actual good evidence. Because so far, your pieces of evidence are that Doom is tricking the heroes by using Tony Stark's face, and Captain Hydra can probably do the same thing. And then your other pieces of evidence is the reason that he's worthy of Mjolnir, and it's that, oh, Madam Hydra did this in the comics. Ugh. I'm just gonna go on to what I think about who I think Steve is in Doomsday, and I'm saying it here. I think the Steve Rogers we saw in the Doomsday trailer is our Steve, the one we have been watching in movies since 2011. And I say this because I have so much more evidence than the people who say that he's Captain Hydra. First piece of evidence. The first Avengers Doomsday teaser that came out back in December 2025, that teaser was based off of Steve Rogers. Now I'm going to give you a quick recap, and you'll probably hear, and I'll probably also describe the scene. Like, I'll give you a recap of the scene, and I'll probably have stills from the teaser up. But, the first piece of evidence from the first Doomsday teaser, I'm going to split I know I said the teaser is the first part of evidence, but actually it's the first basic file of evidence. It's more like a file of evidence, like how cops have evidence files and lawyers have the same thing. I'm doing it like that. So yeah, be prepared. But, as I said, first case file. The first Doomsday trailer. Doomsday teaser. Okay. Now, in the first Doomsday teaser where we are introduced to Steve, and it says at the end, and at the end of the trailer, Steve Rogers will return in Avengers Doomsday. In that trailer, it opens up with someone in the distance on a motorcycle in the fields during 19-something. I think 1945, because that might be the year that Steve went to. No, it was 1949 that he went to go stay with Peggy. But then if he has a kid, it's like a couple years later. So like maybe sometime somewhere in the 1950s is when this whole trailer takes place. Then we see the person pull up to their house. We see them put their helmet on their bike, and you see on their left hand a wedding ring. Then it cuts to a shot of the person who got off the bike walking up to their front door. Then the trailer cuts to a shot of whoever the figure is putting a Captain America suit away in a briefcase or drawer. Which then gives the thought that that figure is Steve Rogers. And it is confirmed that it was Steve Rogers in the next shot when we see him holding his baby. Yes, in the trailer you first see his baby, but over time the camera zooms to show his face and him smiling. Before cutting to black, then the title card saying Steve Rogers will return in Avengers Doomsday. That is all my evidence as to why I think that we are going to see the actual Steve Rogers and not Captain Hydra in Doomsday. Number 1. Those were the first 3, 4, 5 pieces. But I have more. Number 6. The trailer literally says Steve Rogers will return in Doomsday. Now I understand that doesn't really specify how he's going to return. But I have theories. I'm not going to talk about them right now. But also, another piece of evidence. This isn't from the Doomsday teaser. This is from the trailer that came out a couple days ago. But in the new trailer from a couple days ago, you see these 2 frames. This frame is of someone holding Loki's TVA ID card. The person looking at the TVA ID card is wearing a wedding ring. AKA, that person has to be Steve. And then you see this shot of Loki. In whose house? Steve's. You see Loki in Steve's house. So I can give as much evidence as I want, and I have actually, because I apparently have more pieces of evidence than the people who think that it's going to be Captain Hydra in Doomsday. I actually want good pieces of evidence, so if you are one of those people who thinks that Steve Rogers in the Doomsday trailer is Captain Hydra, give me a good piece of evidence why. Because I just gave you some good pieces of evidence as to why I think it's still the same old Steve Rogers we've been watching since 2011. Now, I'm not going to argue with all the Captain Hydra theorists because of one simple thing. The fact that he can wield Mjolnir. In my eyes, the reason that Steve can wield Mjolnir in the Doomsday trailer, and possibly in the movie, is because it's the same old Steve Rogers we've been seeing since 2011, who was teased to be able to wield Mjolnir back in Age of Ultron, and then officially confirmed to be able to be worthy of Mjolnir in Avengers Endgame. And I know what the people who are thinking that he's going to be Captain Hydra are saying right now. They're probably even typing right now. I know what you're saying. I know what you're going to say. Madam Hydra manipulated the charm in the comics. Like I said, I will not argue with the Captain Hydra theorists on Mjolnir because, yeah, that's also a good piece of evidence. But so far, you guys only have 2 pieces of evidence. Meanwhile, me and everyone else who just thinks he's good old Steve Rogers, who we've been watching since 2011, and had a beard and long hair during Infinity War, and was confirmed to be worthy of Mjolnir back in Endgame. We have much more evidence than you guys, so, just, come on. I just want some more evidence, please. Y'all, if y'all can't give me real good evidence, then I win. I win because I gave more evidence than you guys could. You only gave me 2 pieces of evidence, and those 2 pieces of evidence are that Doctor Doom is tricking the heroes, so why not Captain Hydra do the same thing, and the fact that Madam Hydra has possibly messed with the charm. But I digress by saying this. How can Madam Hydra mess with Mjolnir's worthiness charm if Thor is on Earth 616 and we don't know what universe Steve is from if that is Captain Hydra? Do you have nothing to say? Come on, I want to debate someone who thinks that Captain Hydra is going to be in Doomsday, because I've kind of already done that, but he hasn't given good evidence. I actually want someone who has good evidence. Real good evidence, please. I want the good evidence. Because I don't think that Madam Hydra can mess with the Mjolnir charm if she isn't from Universe 616 and isn't in Universe 616. Because remember, we're only seeing like 3 main universes in Doomsday. 616, aka the main MCU universe. 828, the universe of the Fantastic Four, and possibly 10005, which is the Fox X-Men universe. I'm back to doing long-form videos. This is just the first of many long-form videos I plan on doing. Bye.